Hello, you are watching the DIY Farm Channel with Nathan and Jamie, and today we are working on our countertop, and as you can tell, it needed a facelift. So we did have it quoted out with Formica, and that came back around $460, but what we really wanted was a wood countertop, and we knew that would be thousands. So we put our heads together and figured out a way to do it for a lot less money. Let's get started. We went to our local hardware store and we purchased one 4x8 oak plywood board, not particle board. You want to make sure it's something really thick and going to hold up for the years to come. We purchased poplar wood in various widths but the same thickness, and 3-inch poplar wood to wrap around the countertop. We also purchased nails for the nail gun, wood glue, Minwax wood stain, and Minwax polyacrylic. Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. First, we're going to cut the wood top to the size that we want. Then we're going to place the wood glue down the long side, just long enough for one board. And then I'll place the poplar on top of the oak plywood. Then Nathan will nail it from the bottom side, which takes a lot of trust. And make sure that you get the right size nails so they don't pop through the top. When you're done with that, just keep repeating the same steps until you reach the edge. Then you're going to cut the corners to the 45-degree angle, and then you're going to sand all over. So this is the stain that we use. It's the Minwax Ebony 2718 semi-transparent. So this is my job. I love to paint. So I applied one coat of the stain onto the countertop, and I was a little bit worried about it at first because the wood had a green tint to it, but once the stain soaked into the wood, it looked really nice. I did have some stain that sat on top, and so I just took a rag and wiped that off, and I let it dry overnight. So this is what it looked like the next morning. I only put one coat of the Minwax Ebony stain on there because I felt like if I did another coat, it would be way too dark for our kitchen. Next, we used the hole in the old countertop, and we took a piece of cardboard and traced the hole out and traced it onto the countertop and cut it out. Then we moved it from the shop to our home and secured it with L brackets to the cabinets. So this is just a screenshot of the finishes that we used. We've already talked about the Minwax wood finish. So after we finished with the stain, we applied the Minwax water-based polyacrylic, and it is the clear semi-gloss. And it's important to note that you don't shake the polyacrylic, you stir it gently. So here's an image of the first coat of the polyacrylic, and it's got a little bit of a gloss on there. You can see that there's some rough areas. And I'll just note that it does go on a little bit milky looking, but it dries clear. You're going to want to sand it in between coats with 220 grit very lightly, and then apply 3 coats total. So here's just a recap of what our countertop looks like. I'll just walk you around and let you see. These were originally lightning strikes, and they were purple, but they turned out a lot darker than we thought that they would, I guess because of the staining. But we did actually extend our countertop. It did stop originally about right here, and we just felt like that wasn't quite enough room to have it eat at bar, so we extended it out about another 5 or 6 inches. So I'll just kind of walk you around. I did like the knot holes, so we still are kind of working on filling those in with the polyacrylic, but I just felt like it gave our countertop a little bit more dimension and some character. I like character. I married Nathan and he married me. So this is what it kind of looks like. I'll tell you that Nathan was a little disappointed in himself. I don't understand why, because he did a great job. But he said if he could have done this over, he would have made these 45-degree instead of the way that he did. But I think it's beautiful. He did a great job. The countertops worked perfectly with our dishwasher. I had just enough room to open it, so that worked well. We used our existing drop-in sink, and all I did was clean it with some baking soda, and then we got some new drains, and it looks good as new. Alright, that's our beautiful countertop.
Alright, so here's the wrap up. The project cost was around $260 with some sweat and tears and a little bit of blood. It wasn't too hard for us to do between the two of us, and it took about 2 to 3 days between waiting for the coats to dry and everything to cure. And our total cost savings was $200. Huge savings. Totally worth it. Thank you so much for watching the DIY Farm channel. Give us a thumbs up if you liked this video and be sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.